Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English for Everything, the place where English becomes simple, practical, and part of your everyday life. I'm John, and today it's just me and you. No co host, no conversation, just a real, honest talk. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a crowded place? Maybe a gym, a bus, a wedding, surrounded by people, but still felt alone? Yeah, that feeling. It's strange, right? Because technically, you're not alone, but emotionally, it feels like you are. And that's exactly what we're talking about today: loneliness. Now, first, let's understand something very important. There's a big difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Being alone is just a situation. For example, right now, I'm sitting in a room by myself. I'm alone. But I'm not lonely because I'm okay with it. I feel calm, focused, maybe even relaxed. But feeling lonely? That's completely different. Lonely is an emotion. It's when you feel like something is missing, connection is missing. You want someone to talk to, someone to share your thoughts with, but no one is there. And here's the interesting part. You can be alone and feel happy, but you can also be surrounded by people and still feel lonely. That's the confusing part about this feeling. So, how do we express loneliness in English? Let's make this practical. The most simple sentence is, I feel lonely. Very direct, very clear. But sometimes we don't want to say it so directly. Maybe it feels too personal, too vulnerable. So here are some other ways you can say it. I've been feeling lonely lately. That word lately means recently. So this feeling has been happening for some time. Another useful sentence, I feel isolated. Isolated means cut off from others, like you're separate, disconnected. You can also say, I miss having someone to talk to. This one is powerful because the word miss shows emotion. It means you want something, but you don't have it right now. Here's a softer way. I could use some company. Company means being around people. So this sentence means you want someone with you. Or you might say, I've been spending too much time by myself. Notice something here. You're not directly saying, I'm lonely, but the feeling is still there. And that's important because sometimes in real life, people don't say things directly. They express emotions indirectly. Now let's talk about when people usually feel lonely. Because this feeling doesn't just come randomly. There are triggers. One of the most common situations is moving to a new place. New city, new country, new environment. You don't know anyone. Everything feels unfamiliar. You might say, I just moved here and I don't know anyone yet. That's a very real situation. And honestly, making friends as an adult, not easy. When you're a child, it's simple. You like the same game, you become friends. But as an adult, you need time, effort, energy, and sometimes patience. Another situation is after a breakup. When a relationship ends, you lose more than just a person. You lose your routine. You lose your daily conversations. You lose your companion. And suddenly, there's silence, a gap in your life. And that can feel very lonely. Another common situation, working from home. Now, don't get me wrong. Working from home is comfortable, but socially, it can be difficult. You might say, I miss sharing my day with someone, or I feel empty. No coworkers, no small talk, no random conversations, just you and your screen. You might say, I miss the social part of working in an office, or I feel isolated working from home. And let's be honest, weekends can be tough too. You open social media and you see everyone going out, hanging out, living their lives. And you're just sitting there thinking, what about me? That comparison, it makes loneliness worse. Now, here's something very important I want you to understand. Feeling lonely does not mean something is wrong with you. Let me repeat that. There is nothing wrong with you. Loneliness is a normal human emotion. Just like hunger tells you that you need food, loneliness tells you that you need connection. It's a signal, a message from your brain. So the real question is, what can you do about it? Let's talk about solutions, practical ones. First, reach out. This is the most important step. Reach out means to contact someone. Send a message, call a friend, even something simple like, hey, how are you? Don't wait for people to contact you. Take the first step. Because the truth is, many people feel the same way. They're just waiting, like you. Second, join something. A class, a gym, a community. When you meet people regularly, connection happens naturally. You don't have to force it. Third, start a hobby. Something you enjoy. Something that gives your time meaning. Reading, fitness, cooking, content creation, anything. Because when you have purpose, you don't feel empty.
Fourth, be careful with social media because what you see there is not always real. People post highlights, not reality. And when you compare your normal life with someone else's highlights, you feel worse. So limit it, or at least be aware of it. Now let's flip the situation. What if someone you know is feeling lonely? What should you do? First, listen. Just listen. Don't interrupt. Don't try to fix everything immediately. Sometimes people don't need solutions. They just need someone to hear them. Say something simple like, I'm here for you. Encourage them to open up. Let them express themselves. And most importantly, don't judge. Because when someone shares their feelings, they're being vulnerable. Respect that. Also, be specific. Don't say, let's hang out sometime. That's vague. Instead say, let's meet Saturday evening. That shows effort. That shows you mean it. And finally, check in. Send a message. Ask how they're doing. Sometimes that small message can make a big difference. Before we end, I want to leave you with one thought. We live in a world where we are more connected than ever. Internet, phones, social media. But at the same time, many people feel more disconnected than ever. So maybe the problem is not the number of people in our lives, but the quality of connection. Think about that. All right, before I go, I have a small question for you. When was the last time you felt lonely, and what helped you feel better? Write your answer in the comments. Even one sentence is enough. And if this episode helped you, make sure to subscribe to English for Everything. Like, share, and keep learning. Take care of yourself, and remember, you're not alone in this journey. This is John, signing off. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Goodbye.